yes, this is it. Time travel. One of the very first conventions that I went to, perhaps the third or the fourth, I went to bed one night, or rather I went to my room one night, and suddenly it was the following morning and I was on a panel in 10 minutes. Well, I think certainly the oddest conspiracy theory I've ever come across is Flat Earth. And the Flat Earth Society holds that, as its name suggests, the Earth is really flat, and all the evidence that it's round is provided by a conspiracy. Antarctica is not Antarctica, it's the great ice wall that holds the water in, round the rim. So we're in Discworld and we don't really know it, except if you're in on the secret. I don't think there's a specifically Scottish SF. It's just something that we pretend to do so we can swagger around as the Scottish Socialist Science Fiction Vanguard Party. Whether the space elevator ever come to pass actually depends on material scientists working away in laboratories with little whiskers of carbon nanotubes. Once we have the super strong material, it all looks very economically feasible. What music will they play? Well, I would hope they would play, the Planet Suite or Zarathustra like in 2001, but in practice they will probably play the latest pop music of the 21st or 22nd century. I would like my SF to be described as like Molesworth described Colin Wilson's work. Advanced, forthright, significant. We can turn our attention outwards from our relationships with ourselves to our individual and collective relationship with nature and with the universe. That relationship of humanity in its overwhelming insignificance in relation to everything else in its overwhelming significance is something that mainstream literature simply doesn't notice, and SF can do that. It's Rocket to Limbo by Alan E. Nurse. This was probably the first real science fiction novel that I read other than boys' stories. It had all the Golden Age wonders crammed into one book. It had faster than light travel. It had slower than light generation ships. It had psychic powers. And it had wonderful eye kicks like fishermen with gold rings jangling in their ears walking up the ramp of a starship. After that, I just had to follow and find out what else was out there. Yeah, my favourite is Blade Runner. I think that's the one that has the most eye kicks per frame, probably, and the most emotionally involving score and plot and all the rest of it. Another one that I have, a more worthy one, but one I have great respect for getting the science right and also getting the social plausibility right, is Gattaca. Gattaca's an almost perfect SF movie. What do you mean, if?